The Presidio 5000 by Benchmade, the auto. If your state doesn't allow automatic knives, this knife is worth packing up the family and moving to one that does. Um, After 3 years of ownership, I had to take a few minutes to do a review video on this workhorse of a knife, because I'm going to send it in to have a new blade, or I'm going to have the blade sharpened, but I'm pretty sure, since I chipped it a while back, I'm pretty sure they're just going to put a new blade on there. So I had to take this opportunity and show you what this knife looks like after using it for 3 years, day-to-day usage. Just about every possible torture test you've seen on YouTube done to other knives, this knife has gone through at one time or another. The quality in this knife is just outstanding in every aspect. The only thing that I have a minor complaint about is the jimping here is wore away, and it's kind of rounded, so it's fairly smooth. Other than that, and you got to understand, I use this knife hard. I put this knife through hell and back more than a dozen times. The grips are still fairly sharp. Out of the box when it was new, they are super sharp, and 3 years later, they're still pretty damn sharp. The clip, I got it snagged on something one time, and it did bend it out. I popped these screws off, threw it on a vise, and bent it back, and haven't had a problem since. All the screws retain their tightness. I haven't tightened up a screw once in 3 years. The spring action on it, I'd say, is probably 85% of what it was when it was new. Which I probably whip this out and snap it out 3 or 4 times a day at least. At least once a day to clean my nails. I'll tell you that much. I clean my nails once a day with this, at least. I've opened multiple beer bottles, probably hundreds of beer bottles. I use this to knock on doors. I use this as I've used it as a pry bar, as a hammer, as a I'm trying to think of what else. I've used this for a few other tools that it's not meant to be used for, and it has performed flawlessly. Flawlessly. It's probably the greatest design Benchmade's come out with. Mil Pardue, I guess that would be the designer. Well thought out dude. He took his time thinking about this one. The greatest aspect about this knife, that's the simplest, is the jimping, or the grip here. It's kind of rounded off as they go one way to grip in reverse, and they go the opposite way to grip in the forward direction. So it's flat here, and it's flat right where the clip rubs on your pants. Now, as somebody that wears this on their belt every day, or their pants every day, I wear mine on the pocket of my pants every day. That wears, and just that minor thought that they put into this knife is one of the better aspects of it. Even though the quality is probably the biggest aspect, this knife is a working beef horse. I've dropped this knife, oh god, down a set of boulders, off a second-story building. I was using it to pry some roofing nails off some old shingles, and popped it in my hand and it fell down, and it's like nothing. Luckily, I didn't chip the blade. Well, down here anyway. I was using it as a pry bar, and I chipped the tip of that off. But happy accident, I sharpened it up, and it turned into a great box cutter. I don't know if it'll, I guess I won't focus on the sharpening there. Anyways, go get yourself one. I trust my life with it. I trust it every time it opens, and it's never failed me. The blade retention, I do have to say this. I have to touch it up once a day. The previous knife I had before this was an American-made buck, and it stayed sharp a little bit longer than this. Granted, it was slightly, I believe it was slightly thinner than this blade. The buck was. But that's a minor, you know, it's not that big of a deal for somebody that likes knives and uses knives every day. Sharpening it up is, you know, a quick buff up is really not that big of a deal. Anything else I can say about this? Nope. There's nothing bad I can say about this. It's really the best knife I've ever owned. And if they keep making this, I think it's discontinued. I'm not sure, but I will definitely buy another one once I lose this one. It gets stolen, or just something happens where I can't have the blade, you know, put back on. So go get yourself one.